Hi everyone, and welcome back. So Dratloff44 here, and bringing you another Apex topic related video. So firstly, I did want to say that I haven't made a video for a couple of days. That is just been because, of course, regarding content, being burnt out from playing a lot of Apex, so of course wanting to just take a little break and just enjoy some other things and all the rest. And of course, you know, I'd like to bring you high quality videos rather than just making videos for the sake of it. So that is always a priority as well. But before we get into the main sort of topic of the video, of course, do remember to never stop moving, never stop believing, and stay Apex. Right, well, let's get into it. So, of course, with today's video, then, it is going to be about how wall jumping, or wall running, shall we say, would impact Apex Legends if it was brought into the normal game. And this is a big sort of factor, a big question. You know, how would it affect things in regards to the game being played? Would it really change things? Now, I do want to hear some comments and some thoughts about this because, of course, I do figure that all of you will have different opinions. But I'm very sort of like into this kind of thing where I like to sort of understand a bit more of the dynamics of the game. How would it change it? What would happen? And all those good things. Okay, so firstly going into what wall running is. So for those who will have played Titanfall 2, you're going to know exactly what that consists of, how fast paced it is, but the maps are very much designed for wall running, and this makes a big difference. Now, one of the things that I found very difficult when playing a little bit of that fight or fright LTM mode is that Kings Canyon isn't actually that well designed for wall running. Now, World's Edge might be a little bit better, but of course, like anything, we don't get to play Fight or Fright on World's Edge, so we don't really get to test that out. Now, the thing is that what it would do is it would broaden, of course, the gap between the more skillful players and, of course, the less skillful. And it does make a difference. Now, you're going to get a mixture of skill level players. You're going to get those beginners who are just starting out, those kind of average players that don't play the game too much, but they're trying to, of course, get better. You've got your mid-level players that are not bad at all, but they're not the best players by any means, but they're decent enough, and of course, you know, they are reasonable leveled, and then you get your really high-level player that are just absolutely goddamn amazing. And it does make a difference, you know, and it really makes a big difference when it comes to things like that, in regards to the sort of like the level. Now, if you could actually have the crouch spamming and things like that, so you can see the two players behind me, they weren't at all the best players, and of course I was able to beat them out quite easily with a Hemlock and a G7, a bit of a weird combination. Now, you will see in the clips coming up where you come up against better players and how much difference that really makes. And if you take a better player and how they play, and then you give them wall running and they can run around and kind of reposition all the time, basically Pathfinder would become a kind of a little bit pointless, which of course, I mean, I'm sure that a lot of you would complain about. But also as well, it means that repositioning and moving about and things would be absolutely crazy. Now, this Loba does push me. I don't honestly understand why. Luckily, she gets down, so that's fine, and I have to back off. But, you know, this is the sort of thing. Positional play would become very different. Loba's ability would become changed because, you know, she wouldn't be the only one doing it. Wraith wouldn't be the only one that would be able to reposition, and neither would Mirage, because he has got a repositioning tool as well. And it's just little things like that, it would make a very big difference. So, in a way, I mean, okay, I know that a lot of people would like wall running in the game. Now, personally, I think it would be quite a cool concept in one respect. I'm not going to say it wouldn't be. In one way, I would absolutely love it to be in the game somehow, and, of course, included. However, I do feel that in regards to sort of like the actual mode itself, the way that the game plays, there's enough problems with the lag and the game as it goes. So if you added even more lag, if you added more things, it's just going to complicate it. Now, I'm sure that a lot of you will have seen already the Season 7 trailer sort of broadcasting and showcasing Horizon. Of course, if you haven't, check it out. It's quite a good video. It's not ridiculous, but it's quite good. Now, coming up is sort of like some clips where, you know, we just fight and have a bit of fun. But this is kind of like movement based, so this is why I included this one. So we were bored, we were just waiting it out, and we decided to muck around and fight. Now, okay, you can see that if you're throwing punches and things like that, you can move quite fast considering, but, you know, you can dodge punches and things, but you're not running up any walls, you're not sort of like dodging bullets by doing that. running up walls and sort of like thing, it makes you very, very hard to hit, especially if you play on console. Now, if you're on PC, it's going to give PC players a bigger advantage. Using mouse and keyboard, they can move very fast, and that's why I'm kind of showcasing this particular game, because, you know, we muck around, we're just pissing about, because at the end of the day, it's a bit boring, and it was just a bit of fun. But when you actually look at what comes up next, we come up against the last team eventually, and it turns out to be a Predator squad. Now, a Predator squad is a very different concept from your average players. These people either have just got the aims of a god, they're hacking, aimbotting, or they're just very, very good shots. It's very hard to sometimes tell half the time, because, to be honest, you know, I mean, how can you really... You can tell some cheaters in truth, but you can't tell all of them. So sometimes you're kind of like a little bit like, was it the lag that got me? Are they just that good that they can shoot me round the pillars? Question marks always on here. But coming up is, just in a little bit, is a Pathfinder who actually is crouch spamming, and he's impossible to hit. I mean, I managed to hit him a bit, but he does down me, and eventually we lose. And the reason being is because, look at this, right? So he literally is, look how fast that guy is actually crouch spamming. He fires off a Mastiff. As he's falling down, I get knocked, and Viper unfortunately can't do much else, and he gets killed by a one-shot or two-shot from a Mastiff as well. So yeah, needless to say, if you give those kind of level players wall running, it's going to be a whole new ball game of absolute nightmare. And as you can see, a 20 gil badge Predator with 4k damage, absolute hell. So, you know, when you look at the sort of like the overall part, I mean, I feel that wall running should be something that's included in limited time modes. For challenges, and for maybe like, would a character's abilities, or would one character, like, I mean, something that I did wonder is that, you know, could they give it to Octane but not make it so broken so it has like a cooldown, so he can't do it all the time or something, so it's like his, you know, instead of his jump pad being his super, the wall running is super, his L1 ability is his jump pad, and then, you know, his passive is something else, maybe the stem. With the regeneration side of things, can hardly speak for some reason. But yeah, so I mean, like, that was kind of my ideas on it. I mean, what do you guys think about wall running being added into the game? Do you think it would be a good concept? Do you think it would become Titanfall 2? We did discuss this actually on our stream, and of course, you know, the opinions pretty much of JHD and Viper was, well, it becomes, you know, pretty much Titanfall 2, but in Apex Legends, and it's like, yeah, that is kind of a good point. So I'm kind of like in a mixed view of these things. I mean, I do like new things being added to the game, but I also want the old things being fixed, and that would be, I definitely want to see things like lag on PS4 especially. I don't know if it's as bad on the other stuff. I know it's really bad on PS4 at the moment since crossplay's come into play. It's been awful. So, you know, I'd like to see things like that, game stability and things like that being improved first before they start adding a whole new of new things that start making the game even more unstable and unplayable, which is probably why I've been taking a little bit of a break, to be fair, as well, because it's very frustrating being hit by bullets that you can't even see. And I've got some examples. I've got a video that I'm going to do, another one that showcases a lot of things like that, just because I just want to keep showcasing it, because the more people see it, the more people that might mention it on Reddit, Twitter, all those things, and of course maybe the developers will actually take heed and do something about it. You never know. But yeah, I mean, like, that is the main bulk of the video. Do you think wall running should be included? Do you think it should be an ability in LTM modes, or do you think it should just not be included at all? I'm kind of in the sort of like the mix myself between it not being included at all, and of course it being maybe given as an Octane ability, but as his ultimate rather than something else. Would that be cool? Would that make Octane kind of like broken? Would it make him playable? Who knows? But anyway, that is it for me for regards to this video, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, a like would really help me out, because again, you know, I'm still trying to grow as a YouTuber, and it would be amazing, of course, just to get more likes, more subscribers, things like that, to help me grow and hit my target of 100 before the year's through. But otherwise, do remember to never stop moving, never stop believing, and stay Apex. Thank you for watching. I shall see you in the next video. Bye.